This is where homeschoolers get terrified. Hey friend, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy, the Handmade Homeschooler. Today we're going to talk about high school a little bit. Now if your kids are not in high school yet, this is actually for you, because this is one of those things that I'm trying to tell you ahead of time so you can prepare for it. I'm going through it personally right now, so I thought it would be a great idea to kind of go over some of the things that I'm doing to help my son prepare for that transition into college. And it's one of those things that, you know, you want to be told ahead of time, you know what I mean? So I know there's not a whole lot of YouTube content out there for homeschool, high school, college transition, so hopefully this will be a great help to some of you, especially if you didn't go to college yourself and you're kind of like, I have no idea what to do. So there are a couple of things that we have been doing, especially over the last couple of months, to facilitate that transition, and it's really exciting, but at the same time, as a mom, I'm just like, I'm losing my child. I'm not, but you know, it's hard. It's hard on the moms. It is, but it's all good things and it's all for the glory of the Lord. So I'm just saying, you know what? It's okay. It's a new phase for his life. He's really excited, and I'm going to tell you all of the things that we have been doing to kind of get ahead in this area. So where do we stand right now? My oldest is 16. He will be 17 years old next spring. He is in 11th grade and he is right on target. So he is exactly where same age peers are all over. He is a really great student. So, you know, we have no reservations about him possibly getting into college or anything like that. So I have been keeping his grades, his GPA, all of that in a transcript that I have in a document here on my computer personally. But we also have a cover school, which a cover school made things a lot easier on us because we are a military family and we were bouncing around from location to location. So having both of our kids enrolled in a cover school made things much easier on me. And then I realized, because I thought about getting rid of it after my husband retired a couple years ago, but I was like, this is actually great for high school. I don't want to get rid of it because all of their records will be complete from the beginning on. So I wanted that consistency with their records. I did not want it to be all over the place. It just made things a lot simpler. So I kept both of my kids in the cover school, and now they keep a high school transcript for him, and that makes this so much easier for me. So for safety reasons, I never release the name of the school that my children are enrolled in, just like no one would go on YouTube and say the name that, you know, their school, the school that their children are enrolled in either. It's a safety issue. So no, I do not give that out, but you can Google different cover schools and umbrella schools and you will find a multitude of them. So I will have a transcript from this school, which makes my life so much easier. So I don't have to do anything about that. I just have to basically make sure that he meets all the requirements for graduation, which he's on track to do. So he is up to speed on that. He is set to graduate next year, and he is actually ahead in several of his classes because of some of the electives that he took last year. So that already puts him ahead of the game for graduation. So now he's got a little bit of extra time. So that's where this list comes in, and I have this list on my phone because, you know, that's what we do. We put lists on our phone anymore. Okay, so the first thing that we did was, after we got him all up to speed with graduation requirements for high school, we looked at, what do you want to do? The most basic question. And it's so hard asking a 16-year-old, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Because if somebody would have asked me that at 16, I probably would have ran out of the room crying. But it was with the background of this doesn't have to be what you do for the rest of your life, but what are you interested in? And then when we were able to go down and explore that road and really look at the different colleges in our area to see what was available in their degree programs, we were able to really narrow down exactly what he wanted to do. But it took really like digging through their degree programs. Don't be afraid to do this. Just go, especially if you live in a college town. I live in a college town. Where I'm at, there's a bunch of different colleges that you could go to, and that's excluding online. I'm talking about like actual campuses. Like I live in college world over here. So there's different colleges and trade schools all over. So what we did was we just pulled up these colleges and we just started exploring what do they offer. Because I think when you ask a teenager that question, they're like, they like panic because they're like, I don't know all of the jobs. That's a lot of jobs, you know. You know, there's so many different jobs out there. So really take the time with your child to figure out what it is that they want. What are they good at? What do they excel at, and what do they have a passion for? What do they enjoy? And then kind of go from there. That's what we did, and we found something that was perfect for our kid, and he's really excited. He didn't even know that that was a career, and they offer a certification program and a degree program for that right here, like 40 minutes from my house. So I was like, that's so cool. So we were able to go forward that way. So the next thing I suggest doing is looking at the admission requirements. This is where homeschoolers get terrified because there is this lie going around that homeschoolers can't get into college. I find it personally hilarious. It is so unfounded. It's so untrue. Homeschoolers can do just the same things that anybody else can. They can get into college, they can join the military, they can do anything that public school kids can do, as long as you have records. So, case in point, keep your records, okay? Keep good records. I don't want to say you have to be meticulous, okay? But the more the better. You know, really look at transcripts because you are going to need that. In most colleges today, what I have found is they don't want to see your high school diploma. And it was like this when I was in college too. Nobody cared about my high school diploma. It's been in my closet since I graduated. What they want is your transcript. They don't care about your diploma. They want to see, what did you do in school? What classes did you take? Were you on the honor roll? They want to see those types of things. So it's not so much that certificate that you're looking for. You're not looking for your high school diploma. You are looking at the transcript. You need to work on the transcript. And the more you can, the earlier you learn about keeping a high school transcript, the better. I have a video on that on my channel. I will hopefully remember to link that down below, and I'll show you guys different things that I do to keep the one on my computer here. And I believe there's companies out there on the internet that you can pay to keep a transcript for you or to make a transcript for you so it looks really official. So look at the admission requirements. What else do they need other than a transcript? For ours, I have yet to come across a college that really wanted more than their high school transcript. That's all they really cared about. And then I know I made a video about this recently too, but like most of them don't really care about your SAT or ACT scores anymore. There's no like required score for a lot of colleges. That's not every college, that's just the ones that I'm looking at here locally. They don't seem to care about that. They just really want to see what score did you get so we can put you in the right math class. They do not have like a required score like they used to have back when I was a kid. So don't stress out about ACT or SATs. Just make sure that your child takes it. I would say take it because you do want to have that score just so they can be properly placed in the right classes. But I would not sweat it like we did when we were in high school, at least if you are from my generation, which is very elder millennial, almost Gen X. It's not a thing anymore. So totally, you know, de-stress about that factor right there. So the next thing I did was I started looking at different electives and different classes that he can take here at home while he's still in high school to help him prepare for college. So I bought him a brand new elective course from CLE, Christian Light Education. This is my first CLE course, elective, class, all the things. I have never used their curriculum before, but my son so far is loving his brand new class. It's going to help him in his degree field. He's really happy about it, and I wanted to kind of help him not only get excited about this new path, but I wanted to help him get ahead and hopefully be even ahead of some of his peers who maybe didn't have classes like these, because I know my high school surely didn't have classes like the ones that I was getting him. So I think it's kind of cool when they're homeschooled, they can actually get ahead of their peers that are going to be with them in college. So if he already has some of these skills, he's going to have an easier time when he transitions. It's not going to be nearly as stressful for him. And it's going to get him excited about this new career field too. So the next thing I did was I looked into dual enrollment. My husband and I, we have not made a decision yet on dual enrollment. It's early, forgive me. We haven't made a decision yet on dual enrollment. If we do dual enrollment, it will be for 12th grade. He doesn't have nearly as many classes because the route he's going down is a trade. So we haven't made a decision yet. We're thinking about it. I think it would be helpful, and it looks like he can take them all online. So, you know, we may do that. We may go ahead and just sign him up for some of those classes. At the same time, it's so hard because, you know, it's like saying goodbye a little bit to you. It's so hard. It's so hard. I know a lot of you probably understand exactly what I mean. Like, it's just so hard to let go, but at the same time, you know, you want him to get ahead of the game too. And I want him to get a taste of what these classes are going to be like, because it's going to help him prepare for when he's got to go full time. So, you know, it'll be kind of like a taste of what he's in for, you know, even if it's just 1 or 2 classes, you know, like maybe 1 each semester. It'll still help him get ahead, and that's 2 classes that he doesn't have to worry about, and he can kind of launch with that already done. The last thing that I would suggest is look into scholarships and financial aid ahead of time. Like, this is super important, like super, super, super important that you do this ahead of time. Do not do this at the last minute. You will be so overwhelmed, and there's an application process to each of these things, and you have to do them like a year ahead of time. So look into financial aid. Do not put that off. We've been doing this for months now. I have different things that he needs to apply to, and you know, these things take months, and they have to apply like a year ahead of time. It's not something that you can just apply for. Like, most of them that I've seen, you can't just apply for it like when they're about to head off to college and just get handed money. It does not work that way. It has to be like approved by certain people, and different scholarships work different ways, especially if you're going to do like the FAFSA or, you know, the one through the government, you know. So look into these things when they're like in 11th grade, not when they're in 12th grade. You need to have these under your belt now. So we are looking into a ton of those and keeping those handy, and he's going to start applying for those here pretty soon. So yeah, it's overwhelming, but it's all good stuff. All right, so there is my video. If you have a kid who is about the same age as mine, let me know. We need to band together during this difficult time in our lives of transition. All right, I will see you in the next video. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and happy homeschooling.